good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are going to be watching this video from. This is your friend again, Okwayemi Steven, in the School of Learning and Development. So today I'm going to be talking about Exchange Online archiving, how to enable the Exchange Online archiving. So when you talk about Exchange Online archiving, say is a cloud-based storage solution for emails. Okay, so cloud it's a cloud-based storage solution for emails, which helps to keep your inbox organized by automatically moving old emails to an archive, freeing up space in your primary inbox. Okay, so now, this archiving allows you to what? To archive your old image, your old what? Emails. Like in a case where you have assigned a mail box for a user, and the mailbox is now filled up already. So, and this user and the mail they have are very important to them. They cannot afford to delete them. At times, it might be for retention purpose. Okay. So now what you need to do is to make sure. So this archiving depends on the license that is being granted to the user. So we have the Exchange Online Plan 1. So the Exchange Online Plan 1 gives a user access to 50 gig mailbox. Okay, 50 gig mailbox. So which is the Exchange Online Exchange Online Plan 1 give user access to what? To 50 gig what? Mailbox. Now, when that particular mailbox is now being exhausted, now, and the user, so what you need to do, there are two ways. It's either you give the user a separate license, or you give the user the exchange online exchange online uh archive the add-on. Okay, so you need to assign the add-on to that particular user that has the Exchange Online uh Plan 1. Okay, now, or you can decide to give the user, or if a user has a mailbox, if a user has a license of the Microsoft 365 E5 license. So the Microsoft 365 E5 license comes with the Exchange Online Plan 2. Okay, so the Exchange Online Plan 2, whereas the Exchange Online Plan 2, the Exchange Online Plan 2 gives the user access to up to 100 gig 100 gig of memory. Okay, 100 gig. So now when that user has that particular license, the user will automatically have the user will automatically have uh access for the archiving. So all you just need to do is to enable that particular archiving for that user. And when you enable archiving for that user, when that 100 gig is being exhausted, you understand? And you now enable the archiving on that mailbox of that user, user get another extra what? 100 gig archiving. Okay. And also you also have the user can also have up to 1.5 terabyte archiving. That 1.5 terabyte archiving is when you now enable the auto expanding. So the auto expanding is like a separating on its own. You don't get to enable that one until when there is need for it. Okay, so that one is like a separate thing. But in a sense, where the user has the Microsoft 365 E5 license, user will automatically have access to the Exchange Plan 2. So which means that the user will have what? 100 gig of mailbox size. Okay, 100 gig of mailbox size. Now, why do you have to enable archiving for user? Why do you enable archiving for user when that user has exhausted what? Their mail site, I mean their mailbox. Okay, so when the mailbox is full and they need, like I said earlier on, and they need to ensure that the emails are entered, they don't want to delete the email. So what you need to do is to enable what, the archiving for that user. Okay, I'm going to show you now. Let me log into my portal. So if I come up here, if I type my admin dot portal admin, so I need you to get used to the new URL of the admin portal. It is admin.cloud .microsoft.com. Okay, so you press your enter. So it's going to log you in by asking for your credential. I've already logged in my own before. So now when you now come here, so when you come to this place here now, let me open one user. I'll come to users, active user. So if I want to make use of, let me make use of a particular user. Okay, this user has a license. I will use this user here. Now, when you come to this place here, you come to license. Okay, so you can see that this user has the Microsoft 365 E license. I'm using the developer tenant. Okay, so it has was the E Microsoft 365 E5 license. Okay, so with this one, automatically the user has the Exchange Online Plan 2. So how do you know that? When you click on that, you come up here, you have these apps. So you go here and you now scroll, then you will be able to see. So can you see it now? So this is the Exchange Online Plan 2. So this Exchange Online Plan 2 automatically gives the user the archive, the Exchange Online archive. Okay. So all you just need to do is to now enable that archiving for that user. When you enable, but you don't enable archiving for user anyhow, it has to be for a particular reason. Okay, like I said, once the user exhausts their 100 gig, or sorry, when it's already on 90%. Okay, so now when you now enable that archiving for that user, so the user will get additional 100 gig of space archiving. Okay, so where the user can now go and now transfer, organize their emails they need to archive so that they can have free, so they can have more space on their primary mail box. Okay, so they can have space on their primary mailbox. Okay? So you can see here now we have the Exchange Online Plan 2. Now, why? Because this user has the E5 license. Okay, now in a case where the user just have the user has just the plan two, sorry, the plan one. So what you need to do is that you need to enable, you need to assign the Microsoft, you need to assign the add-on for that user to be able to use the archive. Okay, so now this is my user we've seen now. So to enable that, I will close this, then I'll come back here and now go to my exchange. So you click on your exchange. Now when you click on your exchange here, so you come up here and you now click on mailboxes. Now, under your mailboxes, so this is the user here because this user already has the license. I'll click on that. So once I click on this user, I'll now come up here. You can see here you have general organization, delegation, mailbox, and you click on these orders. So when you click on your orders there, so you can see here you have the mailbox archive disabled. Okay. So in this regard, I'll now come and what enable this archive for this particular user. Okay, so I'll click on that. Now you can see I'll now it's not disabled, so I'll click on enable. So once you enable that, you can see it said additional storage is a premium feature that requires an Exchange Online Plan 2, which we already have. Exchange Online archive license to enable it for each user. Okay, so you can see that. So here you can give it a name, or you can just say save and it automatically grant it the name. So you click on save. I'll just click on save. So you can see now archive mailbox archiving successfully updated. Go back. So you can see that has now been updated. If I go back there, so you can see it has given it a name. Okay. Now I'm going to sign in with this user to their Outlook. Okay. So here, let me go back to the user. Let me just reset the password of that user. Just gonna reset the password of that user. Okay, so this is the user. Then here I'm going to open use the incognito mode, and then I will go to my office .com. I'll sign in and then open my Outlook. So next, here I'm going to supply my password. Okay, here you want me to set up my authentication. Okay, next, uh, next. So I will set up the authentication. Okay, so which is quite very important. Let me just open my authenticator app, and I will scan that particular QR code. I'll click on my next, and then put in the matching number. Next, and it's done. If for now, so I will now come up here, come to this place here, and then click on your Outlook. Okay, click on your Outlook. So when you click on your Outlook here, you sign into the Outlook and you will see the mail. Okay, here, if you come up here, you have your inbox. Okay, you can see here there's no any email. So let me just try and send one email. So just give me a second. Let me go back. Let me just send. Let me try and send an email. Let's come here. Let me send email to that user. Let's give it the subject. Okay, and I'll click on send. So I've sent an email to that user. So we'll just assume uh let me refresh that page. I think the email should drop. Let me go back again. For some reason, the email is not dropping yet. Let me send another one. I just want to show you how to move uh, your email to your archive. So send. So let's go back. Hopefully, this will deliver this time around. Okay, so you can see we already have our email coming in. Okay, so now, like I said earlier on, you only enable the archive, the Exchange Online archive for user when a user has exhausted their mail, their mailbox size, when the mailbox size is being exhausted. So you enable that particular archive for that user, okay? And then the user has to have the proper license for that or add-on. So here is my archive here. So can you see that now? This is enabled. So here I can organize my mail, and the user can come up here, organize their mail. I can come up here, say create a folder, and let me say I want to organize that. Say, okay, this one, let me say I want to transfer, maybe let's say mail from a particular client and others. So I can put it and say, okay, ABC of cloud. I just say, okay, maybe any client from the ABC of cloud, I want to organize their email here. So here you can now come up here and move your email so to that particular archive. So how can you do that? You can just right click and then come to move. Here you can come up here in place and then move it to that folder. That is it. So if you go back to your archive here, you can see that this mail has been moved to my archive. Okay, so user can organize them manually and move their email to the archive. Okay, so but before doing that, know that you must have the proper license, which I did show you here. That user must have the proper license. Okay, so if the user has the Microsoft 365 E5 license, you don't need the you don't need the Exchange Online add-on for that user again. Okay, so automatically the user has access to user already has access to mail archiving. All you just need to do is to enable it. Okay, so when you enable it, like I said, go to your exchange, you enable that. So you see here that you can see that the uh particular operation has been enabled for that user. Okay, so that is how you can enable your exchange online archive. Okay, that's how you can enable your exchange online archive. So you can see that now is already enabled for that user, and the user gets space of uh 100 gig. So you start receiving warning at 90%. Okay. Now, if now even the mail archiving that is enabled is not getting filled up, the next thing you now need to do is to now enable the auto expanding archive. So which that one gives user up to 1.5 terabyte. Okay. So that one is a separate thing entirely. Okay. So I hope you have learned something from this video. Okay, so thank you. I want to use this opportunity to thank all my subscriber and those who are just watching for the first time. Kindly make sure, if you are just watching for the first time, kindly make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on my videos. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for taking out your time to watch this video. I hope you have learned something from this. You can send me a message on LinkedIn and I will be there to respond to you. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I remain your friend Okwemi Stephen in the School of Learning and Development. Thank you, and I will see you some other time. Bye bye.